What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Social Awkward Podcast. My name is Adam. I am back again with my friend Ryan. How you doing, sir?
I am doing well. I'm doing all right. I can't complain.
Did you get that silver thing figured out?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. It is what it is. Leave it at that.
Okay, so he didn't fix the situation.
It's the situation trying to get fixed, and I'm just it was business. That's all I look at it as.
The ups and downs of business.
Yep. So it's all good.
That's why I stick to podcasting and porn.
Don't worry, we're gonna get you out to some other having multiple streams of income by the time we're done.
Well, if all goes well, I'll be a private investigator here in about 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing I'm working on, or I'm not working on yet. But it's one thing me and Katrina have been talking about for probably about a week, and we're at a point now where I'm actually in a position to be able to take that risk. 5-10 years ago, we wouldn't have had the money for me to go try to be a private investigator. That's like sounds like some 007 shit.
Yeah.
But my attention to detail, Katrina's like, this job would be perfect for you. I think you could excel at it. And I was like, I 100% think you're right. Plus, we got to start thinking ahead. We can't do this what we're doing now forever. You know what I mean? Just it's not, you can't do it forever. And
true.
But thankfully, cars are paid off, houses are paid off, so it allows us to like breathe a little bit and maybe, make a few choices that are our own and not being forced into. I just have a really hard time. Over the last 5 years has shown me that not having to go work for somebody else every single day feels really good.
Right. Oh, it's a good feeling. Oh man,
right.
I've been doing it for 3 years. So yeah, no, almost 4. But yeah, I'm right there with you.
Are you working out of the house like all day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Besides business trips, and I gotta take like that. But yeah.
Cool. All right. So today's topic is woke and cancel culture. Now, let's start here. When you think of woke, everyone knows what cancel culture is. Someone digs up a tweet from 10 years ago and then says, that's who this person is. Let's get them canceled. And I think most people are kind of sick of that shit. But what is woke culture? Because, you lean more left, I lean a little more right. So what does that mean to you? Because we start there because I feel like we could have two different definitions of what this means.
Yeah. That's actually a damn good question because, I mean, I think it actually, for me, I think when people say woke culture is like, oh, I don't know, it can be negative or positive. That's the thing. Is like some people think like conspiracy theorists. That's woke culture. The government's against us, and we know this and this and this. I'm like, no, that's just fucking conspiracy theory. So, but at the same time, woke culture is like, hey, we're on to what you've done in the past, or I have a more heightened sense of awareness. Like my health is better, or whatever it may be. I know the fast food chains are bad, and the everything like this, being vegan or what is it, vegetarian, and just not being more healthy, conscious. I'm woke. I have that woke culture. So that's why, I mean, it's hard to say what woke culture is. I think it's just a term and a phrase to categorize certain things.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. And, you said it could be good or bad. I guess it really depends, because I could think, like, if I think of, just because I'm white, so I'm going to go there. If I think if there's like some anti-white woke culture, that's negative to me, but positive to the people who are pushing it. So it's all about perspective, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it used to be kind of like, I would say like 5-10 years ago, woke used to be more of a positive term. I'd say over the last year or two, I think it's gotten bunched up so crazily with all the crazies that woke means it's almost like if you're woke, it's like that what's the phrase? Like go woke, get woke, go broke, or some stuff like that. All these companies that keep on leeching off of like these cultural shifts and like these cultural issues, and they pretend like they give a shit just to try to sell a few more sneakers or try to push their product. uh, you can't tell me these boardrooms, let's say of Nike. You think Nike really gives a flying fuck about people like you or me or anybody else? I don't care what your skin color is.
So
It, these companies try to be on the right side of history. And go ahead, go ahead.
no, you're on the right path. I was gonna say, um, yes and no, and this is what I mean. Nike doesn't give a fuck about me personally. Nike cares about my money that I have in my wallet personally. They want my business, but Nike doesn't get my business like that. Amazon gets my business because it's convenient, stuff like that. K Swiss gets my business because I like K Swiss. So,
Are you 70 or 40?
boy, you put some K Swiss on. Skechers also gets my business. I'm 40, but still, but so I get what you're saying. But individually wise, no. Business wise, yes, they want the money, and but they will do everything that they do as a business strategy. They want to cater to what they think the masses will enjoy. Whether it will piss one person off or one demographic off, they don't care if that demographic doesn't buy that much from them. So I get that. So I agree with you. The whole doesn't Nike doesn't or these big brand corporations don't care. They care, but they don't care. It's like we're gonna say what we need to politically, not politically, business wise,
Mhm.
to make sure that we keep your business and make you happy.
Yeah. Well, I think a big problem a lot of these big corporations keep making, or a big mistake they keep making, is a lot of them are based in these big cities, and they're in these echo chambers, and I think they oversell to themselves what the masses think and want. So, like they'll push these they'll push these ads, and they'll push these specific types of messages, and then they see their sales drop because people are like, "No, idiots! Like that's racist." Like, and we can go there here in a minute, but I'm sick of this being racist to fight racism. I'm tired of it. It's
Racist to fight
vile.
racism.
Yeah, telling people like Coca-Cola, telling people to be less white. Like that was literally an internal memo in Coke. I can look it up if you think I'm full of shit.
No, I know you're not full of shit. I heard that one.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, did your parents not teach you anything? Like, two
So
wrongs don't make it. Not you, but
no, I know,
the two wrongs don't make it right. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm gonna say on that one, that was a poor choice of words on
Yeah, no
their
shit.
because I'm like, wait, hold the fuck up.
And I sent you this text today, and I'll be honest, Ryan, I was shocked by
Where are you?
your reply. I'm just gonna read it so I don't fuck it or
Go ahead.
misquote
No,
you.
it's cool.
Let's see here. And I love you, by the way. I'm not here to start a fight. Okay, I'm just
No,
gonna. It
I
is what
know
it
we're
is.
not. I mean, we're
Okay.
just people. Everybody has different opinions.
All right.
That's fine.
So let you guys know what we're talking about. Recently, the Salvation Army of all businesses, like you guys are peddling for money as it is, and now you want to piss people off. It's hilarious. This is this is a headline, so take it for a grain of salt and go read the full article. I always encourage people to not take headlines as the full story, because obviously we know they fuck things up all the time on purpose. Salvation Army wants people to lament, repent, and apologize for racism. Salvation Army defends guy telling white people to apologize for racism because white people invented that, obviously. Salvation Army pulls controversial racism guide in public amid public outcry because they're cowards. Salvation Army says volunteer numbers are down 50%. Yeah, no shit. So I sent that to Ryan, and he says, and this Ryan we're talking about says, I think it's more of a if the shoe fits situation with the racism in white people. And I said, funny, they never say that to any other race.
Yep.
So what do you think of my reply to your reply?
So your reply to my reply is
About
this.
okay,
Funny
sorry.
that they never said it to any other race. And I counteract that rate that reply with what did I say? I'm not sure.
Oh
And
yeah. I can read it if you want me to, just
yeah,
so
go
that
ahead
we
and
have
read it.
more context. Um, he said, or you said, has there been another nationality that has been oppressed, enslaved, and called themselves superior over other nationalities throughout history? And I
Huh?
said, surely that's
Wait,
rhetorical.
wait. Yeah, see. I said, has there been another nationality that has oppressed,
Hmm.
enslaved, and called themselves superior
Oh,
over other
okay.
nationalities throughout history?
Yeah. Oh, did I mess that up? Sorry.
Yeah, you actually, yeah,
Okay. Sorry.
it's
Yeah.
okay. So,
So
and it's technically not rhetorical. It's actually a good question. And and then you replied, every race has been enslaved. You're correct, absolutely correct, 100%. I hear a lot of the controversial thing. People say, "Well, there were the Irish people were enslaved, and they were enslaved. Like when they came over to America, they weren't enslaved; they were actually indentured servants. They were enslaved until they paid off their debt. They were their slaves in every culture, even I'll say this one. I used to get a lot of this one too. Africans enslaved other Africans, yes, and I'll tell you why. They enslaved their rival tribes. So they're prisoners of war. That's it's basically the same thing that
that's where it
Americans do,
started, and then
like that.
they started using them for everything.
No. What started was like prisoners of war and like that.
Mhm.
That's shit that still happens now. So and they use them for labor and shit like that. Yeah, go do this and until your people come, we're gonna get information out of you, but whatever it is. But yes, Africans and national anybody who did war, they had prisoners of war and they enslaved their prisoners to make them work for them.
Yeah.
So yes, that I mean, I wouldn't call that it's slavery, but that's war based slavery. And there's no, I mean, there should really be a difference. Slavery is slavery. I get that, but I'm talking about and Africans did sell like rival tribes did sell the people that they had their rival tribes and prisoners enslaved. They sold them to white slavers, all that too, over to,
And
for the slave
In
trades.
Spanish, they
Spanish
sold
did that too. Yeah,
Mexico,
the slave trade.
everybody.
So the
Yeah.
slave trade. I'll show on this. The slave trade that was 400 years ago. That was really like big like that. It happened in Spain, uh, a lot of UK countries, and
Mhm.
went over to through to Africa. I mean, not, it hit Africa, the west coast of Africa, and went to America. That's how it traveled. It went from Spain down to West Africa to America.
Yeah.
So
Well,
what we
can
go
I
ahead. Yeah, yeah,
can
yeah.
I say one thing? Now the problem I have is that white people, like, there's like these people that think that somehow these younger people that think that white people in America invented fucking slavery. It like the slavery started in the United States,
No,
and not only is that a laughable fallacy, um, uh, it wasn't even based off race. We were literally, and look, this is slavery is evil. Okay,
yes,
from when it started to if it's happening now, slavery is evil. I'm not
yeah.
justifying slavery. I'm just trying to like, and I know this is a small podcast. I'm not saying we're going to change a million people's minds by
Yeah.
any stretch of the imagination, but
You start
um,
somewhere.
yeah, start somewhere. There's this idea that white people in America started slavery and that we must repent for this and that we're racist for it, and or that we're still racist to this day. And it's like, dude, first of all, that happened back in the 1600s, and I know there was shit back like just decades ago that was going on, and we can talk about that later if you want. But not only did white people not invent it, it wasn't about race. The Africans started a slave trade because it was like trading.
No,
It was like
the
trading.
Africans didn't start the slave trade. The Africans was like, oh, I have a prisoner, no fucking problem. Here, I'll sell him to you. You
Well,
want to give
okay,
me some shit? Yeah, no
okay,
problem.
maybe they invent the slave trade, but they were trading their slaves. Like
Mhm.
we didn't just white people from America didn't travel over to Africa and say put a gun to their leaders' heads. Say, give us a bunch of your people. The Africans sold their own people to the Americas, and we came over, and that's all. Obviously, that's how slavery got started. And black people,
So
and also black people also owned slaves over here too. By the way, it was mainly
no,
white, but there were
I
some
know.
black people who owned slaves.
There was, and no, yeah, I'm not gonna say that there wasn't. There was, um, so. when you say they're people, we want to clarify it because if you had a prisoner, they weren't your people, and so I get that.
Their
I
own
get what you're saying.
race.
The
I mean,
race, the
maybe not.
nationality,
Maybe
yes.
not their own. Maybe not their own. Like people from the
Um,
town, like people that they loved. Maybe it was prisoners that they had, but it
yeah,
was still like their own like
nationality.
nationality.
So yes, correct. And it even goes back further. It goes back to Egyptian. Egyptian had slaves.
Yeah, I think Egyptians may have actually. No, no, no.
Greeks had
Yeah,
slaves.
Greeks and Rome's like everybody did. Like it was the way you got shit built up until like not that long ago.
If you had an empire or you was emperor, you had a slave.
Yeah.
I get that. I understand that completely. Now, as to the Salvation Army saying, "Hey, I feel that uh I mean, I don't think that you're saying like all white people, but does it say literally all white people?"
Oh, I didn't read the whole memo. Like
Let's see.
yeah.
Okay, so we're going off of the headline. Okay, so when I say that we're so that's why I say if the shoe fits. For instance, we'll use Nazis. Do you feel that all Nazis should apologize to the Jewish community, the Jewish people, for what they did to them?
Well, hold on a second, because I feel like this is a tricky question because now let's say right now I call myself a Nazi and I've never killed a single Jew and like what does that mean? Like
A
when someone's
Nazi?
well, no, I know what Nazi means, but what is like if someone sees that I'm a conservative and they call me a Nazi, like what the fuck's that
No, no, no,
even
no,
mean?
no, no. Conservative and Nazi is two different things. No, no, that's totally
Not to
different
some
things.
people.
No, 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 no. See, then so if you're blurring the lines like that, like not I'm saying you, but anybody in general, if they're blurring the lines like that, that's just stupidity. You know, if you're a Nazi, just like if you're a part of the Klan or something like that, or a hateful group, or whatever was Taliban and shit like that. If you're part of a terrorist group or somebody that is terrorizing somebody, another
Mhm.
nationality, you know if you're part of that. So let's say as a Nazi is not a conservative. So we're not going to blur the line like that. So to say that you're a Nazi, that you supported the Nazi movement as of the eradication of almost genocide of the Jewish people, you
Mhm.
thought that your race, you had to be a certain blue eyes, blonde hair, fair skin, that and they were superior to any other race out there.
Mhm. Yeah, everybody agrees that if any race of people says that they're superior because of the color of their skin over any other race, that that's fucking retarded. We all agree on
Exactly.
that, okay?
Okay.
So, white people didn't invent that, okay? Mao
It,
from
it, it has
China.
nothing, it has nothing to do with inventing though.
But it does here because it find me an article and I promised you I will apologize right now for even starting this.
No, no,
Find
no.
me another article of black people, like if it's saying black people gotta stop being less black, Chinese or Asian people gotta start being less Asian. Like find me another article over the last 5-10 years of any other and unless you're pulling it off the kkk.com, okay, then probably you're gonna find something. But like find me another organization. Find me like what other race right now is being told that they're racist besides white people? White people didn't invent racism. 90, I don't know percentage. I'm not gonna throw out numbers that I don't know. Like, okay, here's what it is, Ryan. We're sick of being told we're racist just because we're white. We're tired of it. And
Who has told you that you're racist because you're
Coca-Cola,
white?
Nike, Salvation Army.
Coke, they have not said you are racist because you're white. If you are, here's the thing.
What do you
I'll tell you
think?
this
What
one.
do you think? Be less white means, bro.
So here's my thing. Coke, I agree with you on that one. Coca-Cola should use that as a poor choice of fucking words. You don't say be less
It's
white.
not a
That's
poor choice of
stupid.
words. It's just racist. It's fucking
That's
racist.
stupid. So
Say the word. It's racist.
no, it's not racist.
How is that not racist? Come on. Hey, Ryan, be less black, dude. Come on, seriously. Be less black.
Okay, so what does that mean?
You tell me. Exactly. What the fuck's it mean to be less
If you
white?
don't know what it means, that's why you have to get clear. Say, what does that mean? Be as black. What does being black to you mean?
If you heard a company, if you heard fucking, I don't, any company say, tell their black employees, hey, you guys should cool out on the blackness. You guys should, you guys need to be a little less black. You guys would be like, holy fucking
No,
shit. I'll never
I
spend another goddamn penny. That's a racist company.
well, we'll use a company that I used to work for, a big orange home improvement store. I won't name his name, but I get I'm pretty sure we know what I'm talking about.
There's only two. There's blue and orange.
Yeah. So I used to work there for 8 years.
Okay.
And if they came to me and said, "Hey, we need you to be less black," I would like, I will literally the questions I will ask, like, what does that mean? Be less black? And I need some clarity on this one before I say the next thing I say. Because just because somebody may not have the proper choice of words to say, and if they explain, like, well, let's break that down. So just say, be less white. Okay, what do you mean be less white? But that's like I said, Coca-Cola. I'm pretty sure they explained that. So we can, if you want, you can pull up the article for that one too and go more into it. But to say, because one company said be less white, I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree. That's fucking stupid. No one has ever said, yeah, you're right, Coca-Cola. They should be less white. The fuck does that mean? So no one's agreeing with that one. That was stupid on Coca-Cola's part. And their whole video, I think they had like a whole little campaign inside for the HR and shit like that for that one. I'm not sure, but I
I'm
get it.
sure.
I get you're 100% sure that they you're fucking whatever.
Look, I guarantee you, I could look at their board. The person who thought of that was probably some Indian dude. Like, I'm telling you right now, I'm talking out of my ass on that one.
I know you are.
But listen, I'm telling you, Ryan, like, I know you, dude, you got to get out of California. Okay.
It's not California. It's called Logic, man.
How is it logic? Okay, look, are you looking for an article for another race of people in the last 5 years that have been told to be less themselves?
I don't need 5 years. I can honestly, we kind of touched on it before, but here's the thing. All through every media up until the past, let's say, 10 years, on TV, movies, this is the whole thing about representation.
Mm-hmm.
Has always put out there and displayed white people. And it was always hard for people of color to get roles. That's why people have always like, oh, we'll do this, and the movie guild and shit like that. Like they want to boycott this or boycott the Oscars because a lot of people who had great roles. And I'm not saying what's called just give people a bone. No, like people who are great fucking actors and actresses that play the people of color that deserved it got beat out or they wouldn't get roles because you're not the type. We don't want to give you this part because it has the part had nothing to do with race. So what I'm saying is like it's all through media, plain and simple. Everything you see, just up until 10 years. Like you even said, oh, now you guys are on all commercials and TV shows and all shit like that. Now, yeah, about time.
Okay, that's fine. Look, there's an obvious overcorrection going on, which we already talked about this last time, and I get it. These companies are trying to make up for when things were predominantly white. Whatever. We have a diverse country, so you need Indian. Okay,
but why was it predominantly white though? That's the question.
Well, because
you can't say. Go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead.
I'll say you can't say that it wasn't people out there willing to do movies and TV shows and do put out media and have people of color or other nationalities willing to do that work.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm not gonna disagree with you that we had Jim Crow up until like the 60s. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what 60 years ago now. And look, obviously, when you sign the bill, shit doesn't just stop being racist right then. I get that. Okay. We had segregation. We had shit like no one's debating any of that. Okay, and I'm certainly not going to sit here and say that America. What is what?
What you just everything that you just named off. What is that? Jim Crow, segregation, all that stuff like that.
Those are racist laws.
So America had racist laws
Of course, yeah.
that was predominantly for white people.
Yeah, I've already said I'm not debating any of that.
Okay. So
So
that's where I'm getting at to the whole, like, when we saying like white people, I guess white people need to or what's the title again? Oh, not the title, but the article.
so look, I'm gonna ask you a question, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be a little tongue in cheek, so don't get mad at me.
I know, I won't get mad.
So it sounds like, or maybe it's more of a statement. It sounds like you're okay with fighting racism with racism. So basically, that because it was like this for so long that, hey, you know what, white people, maybe you guys just need to understand that we had it tough for a long time in this country. So maybe this is how it feels, yo. So maybe this is just the direction forward. Maybe you guys should just accept the fact that it was hard on us. So maybe you guys suck it up for a while.
Suck what up though?
Suck up being told that you're fucking racist all the time.
Who has said be a racist?
I was born in 1981.
That's the thing. Who's telling you, not you personally, but who's telling white people that they're racist? Who's not being racist though? That's what I'm saying. There are white people and they're that's being racist. We know that there are still white
There's
people.
black people being racist too.
I agree. There's nationalities that be racist. Some people actually say that black people or people of color can be racist. If you hate another nationality because of their race or their race or skin, you are being racist. Plain and simple. I agree.
Can I tell you where the disconnect is for me? The disconnect for me is that it's only look, if we're talking about weeding out racism, you don't tell a whole culture or a whole nationality of people that based off their skin color that you need to check your privilege, that you're inherently racist because you're white. All we're asking you to do is just understand that, and then come to our side and be less fucking racist. Sounds like a fucking utopia, right? Here's the problem:
Mhm.
every nationality is going to have racist people in it. We're only hearing these companies go after one nationality, which is white people. Why aren't we calling it out? I was on Twitter like a week ago. I don't know if you saw this or not. I was on Katrina's Twitter, and there was this. They call them Spaces now, or where the people get in and just talk with
Oh
just
yeah,
a voice
yeah,
chat.
okay, yeah.
Someone posted a video. There was a black dude on there and there was a group of black people talking, and this dude went off for like 5 minutes straight talking about he's sick of white people. He's and I'm paraphrasing. I can't remember the exact words that calling us rats, and that he's sick of us. He would have no issues if we went extinct. I'm like, this shit is happening online right now. And
Mhm.
I know he doesn't speak for fucking black people. I'm just saying that
Correct.
it's out there. There's black people that fucking hate white people. And you know what? A big cause of that is it's because the media is telling that white people don't like them, that white people are racist, and that white people have all this fucking privilege, and we just fucking walk around, we look down on black people. And it's like, that is not true, and that's vile to tell these young white kids with all this. And I do not want to get on CRT today because that'll split us fucking big time.
What do you
Maybe
mean?
the critical race theory stuff.
Oh no,
It's telling
I mean, I ain't getting to that one.
yeah,
Today.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to open that can right now, but telling young white kids that that you're inherently racist for being you're inherently racist, and that we're gonna fix that for you, dude. Not only are you not helping, you're making everybody more racist with this shit.
So I don't think I've never been told somebody is inherently racist. I've never been taught that. So and here we go. I live in California, born and raised on the playgrounds is where I spent most of my days. But seriously, I've never been taught that. Racism is not inherited. Racism is taught. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna share something personal with you.
Okay,
Okay,
love it.
on here. So my grandparents lived in they're still alive, and they're in their 70s. Lived through the Jim Crow era, segregation era.
Mhm.
My grandfather was from the South, Arkansas, I believe. Actually, probably aren't you guys from Arkansas?
Mhm.
I might have got family down there. I might come visit.
It's beautiful.
But no, yeah. So grandfather from the South, grandmother, their family migrated over to California, Oakland, and lived through the whole Jim Crow stuff. They would mention things. I've dated every race. I've dated white, Latina, black. I wouldn't say every race. I haven't dated Asian and Indian. Not because I don't want to, because I never had the opportunity to.
Mhm.
So I have no problem with international or interracial dating and intermingling with the different nationalities. I've always been like that. People when I did that, there's they didn't understand. Like, well, do you like black people? I was like, yeah. What the fuck? It's like why wouldn't I? And it's like, okay, well, you just never.
Wait, who asked you that? Your grandparents?
Yeah, grandparents. My mom was like, do you like you never date black? I was like, well, I have. You just don't really know about it because I don't be flaunting everything like that. But so yes, here's the thing. Because I was like, okay, cool. They experienced that, so they were brought up a different way. They would talk about like kind of that mindset. It was that segregation mindset, like, oh, we don't deal with them. We don't deal with they don't deal with us
Yeah.
because we and that's how it was for it. That's how they were. It was pushed. Jim Crow, like, no, you don't integrate. You
It was
don't
just
do
pushed. It was a
this.
law for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, if you did this, we will kill you.
Yeah.
So now they're able to see their grandkids, their kids, to do all this stuff like that. And it's like, it's a different time. So I understand that era and the whole thing of saying like racism, and the whole point of me telling you this, because racism is taught. Racism is not inherited or one second. Racism is not inherited. You don't inherit hatred. It's taught 100%. If you're like you talking about black and white, even my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, here's something. Santa Claus. We went to Target. This year, I've seen the most black Santa Claus ever in my life, and it took me by shock because I was dressed up as Santa Claus one time for Home Depot. When I used to work at Home Depot. I'd say right now that's something bad. And they had a kids clinic, and I'll volunteer. I had a little belly then, still got a fucking belly, but and I said I'll dress as Santa Claus. Go around. People and people had to tell their kids, oh, that's not the actual Santa. That's just Santa's helper. Because why? I was black. I'm not going to ruin somebody's kids.
Or maybe they said it because you're not the actual Santa.
Yes. No. Well, no. They said it because.
How do you know? How do you know it was because you were black? Are you assuming that, or do you know
They say
that?
he looks different from Santa.
Oh, no one said that.
The kid said that. He looks different from the other Santa at the.
Well, it's true. Santa's fucking white.
Is he?
Yeah. Saint Nick is a real person. He was white as shit.
Yeah. Saint Nicholas he was. Yes. So and
I'm not gonna die on that hill. Okay, come on, it's Santa Claus.
Here's the thing, though. New generation, new era. So when you show certain things, like you see, like, well, they look like me. They look like representation. And like I said, Target, we saw like a little figurines, like it had a black Santa Claus come out the roof. I like, and my daughter's like, stop, like, hey, that's what's that? I'm like, I look, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Santa Claus. And she's like, but it looks different. She literally said it looks different. She didn't say it was black or white. It's like, he looks different. I said, and I came up with a great, counteract. She's like, oh, you mean it looks like daddy? She's like, yeah. I said, Santa Claus can be any color he needs to be, because that's Christmas magic.
Who gives a shit? Santa Claus.
Yeah. And I was like, and it dawned on me, like, God damn it. Like, this is a new generation, this is a new era. So representation really does matter. I didn't understand what that meant, but until it finally happened. With my kids, I got thick skin, so I get what you're saying. And the whole thing about the where's my point going with this one? Racism. It's taught, and I'm not going to teach my. I'm not saying that you are doing this either. I'm not going to teach my daughter to look at color as much. It's gonna happen. I get that. Because you see, hey, yes, you're more fair skinned than me. Why am I more have a darker pigment than that than Adam over there? Well, science says because this, and this, not because I'm black. It's because of just of science. There's actually scientific reasons why. So my thing is that when you teach somebody at a young age the difference and like, oh, this person, they're acting that way because they're this nationality. That's and we're better than that. That's racism. That's
which is
taught.
exactly what these companies are doing.
How are they doing that? By saying, hey,
Be less white.
people who are racist should apologize for being fucking racist. If you don't want to be racist anymore.
Okay, so you're telling me all these people said, oh, "Yes, sir, I'm racist. Can I get some help, please?" Like they're accusing you of being racist before they even fucking know your name. Because if like you know how many people look at me because I'm a tall white dude from the Midwest and are like, well, that's the worst case of white privilege I've ever seen in my fucking life. He's it's like
Have you been accused of being racist?
my people, and I say that
No.
I see that
Okay.
no one has come up to me and came up to my face and hey white guy you're racist. No, because that's
Okay.
not how it works.
Okay.
Just like there's like very few black people in 2021 have people come up to them and go hey black guy don't steal my purse. Like no one's doing that. You know what I mean? Like you said who's like it's not learned or it's not inherited. It's taught. Who are all these white kids and why do we need CRT? Like, who are all these white kids who are being from birth are being told, no, look, little Jimmy, don't go play with that. Don't go
Here you
play with
go.
that black boy. He's black. Like, who's doing that? Like, who is this
Hey,
message supposed to be for exactly?
I don't know, but you play Call of Duty, right?
That place is vile. I'll give you that.
And most are kids, right?
But listen, no, I'll tell you right now, I'm not one of those people, like, and this is where I think ideologically me and you differ on this. I don't think, look, I've said a lot of fucked up stuff on Call of Duty. I call people the F word constantly, okay? But you know what? I have a daughter who is trans, and I don't talk to people like that in real life. And I don't think of people like that. I don't think of gay people like that.
Mhm.
People, because you're online, people say fucked up stuff all the time. I'm not one of those people, like, even people that I don't agree with like I would never dig up a 10-year-old tweet and say this is who this person is, cancel this person because people change, people say fucked up
Oh, yeah.
stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
people say things out of anger or just frustration or because they're trying to troll. There's lots of reasons why people say really fucked up stuff, but it doesn't define you. Just like race, just like your skin color doesn't define you. Okay.
But there's actually only one. I wouldn't say one, but the majority of reason why people say things, um, that's fucked up things, is out of hate, out of anger, hatred, fear, and anger.
And a big part of it too is that they've made like the N word and the F word so repulsive that people it's a go-to word for some people because it's such an angry word.
Yeah,
So when you say it,
a hateful word,
it's almost like saying
hurtful.
fuck. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm not saying
But
it's the
see,
same category as fuck, but it's like it's a vile word. So some people say it just because they're so mad, but I still don't think that defines someone.
and that's the thing. I've never said the N word out of being so mad. I've said fuck, like fuck you. I'll beat your fucking ass and all that shit. But I never said the N word because being so mad.
I have said the word. Look, you can cancel me later on if you guys want. I've called people a faggot on Call of Duty. I've said the word. Okay, sue me. Okay, you know me.
So,
Do you think that? Do you think if I see a
and that
gay
was a different
person,
time. That was different. Here's my thing
Ryan?
like
That was
this.
probably last week. Okay, I don't.
No, I'm saying this. Like before, I knew that word was offensive to people, and really like, fuck, you're gay, like fucking gay, like that. Or I mean, I don't really call people go around people call faggot. I said it one time as a kid, and then so that, hey, don't say that shit. I was like,
Well,
oh,
when we were kids,
okay.
gay for me, gay like okay, this is like an old people comedians have used this.
Yeah.
It's like no, almost nobody goes around seeking out gay people, going, "Hey, you're gay. You're a F word." No one's doing that. Like, I was born in the '80s, raised in the '90s. If we saw somebody acting like idiot, like, dude, you're being real gay right now. Like,
Yeah,
it didn't
basically
even
stupid.
had
It meant
nothing to
like you're being
do with
stupid.
it. Would had nothing to do with sexuality.
It
You know what I
didn't. It
mean?
didn't.
But
It
go ahead.
I would say because I said it to my son before, and my son's gay. I was like, man, like gay meant to me back then was stupid. It wasn't like, oh, you're gay. Like I wasn't talking about sexual preferences. I was talking about, oh man, that's fucking gay. Like just like it's fucking stupid. Why? This is stupid, dumb. And I'm like, I wasn't saying it out of hatred, and I'm telling people this and saying this because it's understanding. It was a disconnect. So when now if somebody says, "Hey, can you not say that because that's very hurtful to me because I'm gay and a lot of people have called me that in negatory way." Okay, I'll respect that. No problem. If it's going to make you feel better, it's going to help one person, and that can spread the love. Absolutely, no problem. I do that one, but that's not my intent. Was to hurt you by saying this is gay in that context.
Yeah, look, I'll be 40 next week. I have slowed way down on that kind of stuff because you grow up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Uh, but I feel like we've given these words so much power that under any context, people just want to bury you if you use them. And I think we've got to stop giving language and stop treating language the same as physical violence. You hear this microaggressions. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. Because if you base people's how you can if you base your what you can say off people's feelings, then we all just got to shut the hell up for the rest of time because something is going to offend everybody. Okay, and I promise I'm almost done. But we
no, no,
give
no. Go
these
ahead.
we give these words so much vile power that it just controls everything, and it's a way to shut people up. Like if something happened online, I'm not big enough for people to go after me yet, but if something happens online and people start calling me racist, then I no matter how what context it was in, I have to go on the defensive and be like and start defending myself based off of some words I said when what's in my heart is completely different. And we have got to stop giving people or companies or anybody the power to cancel people because of words they have used. Now, obviously, if I go to a gay person and I'm yelling the F word and this and straight in his face, everybody's gonna fucking hate me and I'll never be able to do anything ever again. Everyone like that's duh. But like, but shit you say in casual conversation, making fun of things, you're like shit like that. People just gotta stop being so sensitive.
It's. I can say I agree with you. I agree with you about people being so sensitive, but at the same time, there still needs to be accountability because if people gets too slack, shit can literally fall back to what it was and like, oh well, I said it the other day, like, oh fucking why say it? Like here's my thing. This is how I look at it, and this could be an extreme matter, but I like to go for a personal touch on this one. When it goes like this, I put myself in a situation as a position when it comes to certain things as my kids. I can give two shits about myself. My kids, my wife, my grandkids, those are the things that I love, that I will protect, I will die for.
You have grandkids?
Yeah.
Wow. I think
We a
you're
blended we have a blended family. My wife is 56 and I'm
oh,
40.
okay, gotcha.
And so I love my kids, my grandkids.
Gotcha.
They're my grandkids and my children. So I will protect them and fight for them and defend them. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about me. I don't care. I got tough skin. I'll smile on your face while you're saying it, and eat a fucking sandwich. But um, when it comes to my kids, I'll hunt you down. And I'm pretty sure just how you are, you're the same way about your kids.
Yeah, you gotta
You're
protect
very
your kids, yeah.
yeah, you're very protective of your kids. I know people will troll cat and shit like that, but if it came down to it, because when I first met you at AVN, you went in the bodyguard like you just like
I don't think I
perked
smiled.
up.
I didn't even mean
You
to. I
did
just
not
didn't
smile. I was
smile
like, "Hey,
once.
how you doing?" He's like,
I didn't mean to do that. I
I
wasn't
was
trying to be
like,
that.
God
I wasn't trying to be that
damn.
guy.
I know, but you were in protective mode because you don't know how many creeps and crazy people are out there. So I understand that, and that's why I'm like, I like this dude. And you kind of relaxed a little bit after we started talking. We took a picture and the other. Okay, cool. And so that's what I'm saying is like, if somebody came at your kid that way, so hateful and negative, you're ready to fucking Do something. And that's how I look at everything. It's like, put the shoe on the other foot.
I really do. You may not believe this, but I really do try to. As I've gotten older, I've really tried to do that because it's very important, especially as an adult, to really try to put yourself in the shoes of the people that you don't agree with. Because even if you think they're crazy, even if you think that they're wrong, maybe it's coming from a place that is
you understand.
maybe it's coming from a place, maybe they mean well,
Yeah.
and maybe there's a conversation to be had. And
Thank you. That yes.
yeah, but that's kind of what I'm trying to tell you too with this shit that's going on with these corporations
Okay.
that are telling people to be less white. Ryan, I know in your heart, I know that you know what they're trying to do and you can sympathize with that. I can sympathize with what they're trying to do. You don't fight racism with racism. You know what?
I agree.
When I was, and but it's fucking racist to tell people before you even know them. Before I already said that. Like I said, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I literally told Katrina, we've had this conversation about a million times. When I was a kid, I legitimately remember having this conversation with I think one of my friends or something. I was like, I don't. No one even race. No one talked about race in the 90s. It's like it's almost like no. Everyone just we got to a point. It felt like to me, and I'm a fucking white kid. And at the time, I lived in Missouri. I'm a white kid from Missouri, Southwest Missouri, fucking trailer trash. We never talked about black people. We never like it wasn't. No one gave a fuck. Uh, Politics over the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years, they have gone really hard in the paint trying to divide this country again on race. And what you see in the media, what you see in politics, they're trying to make black people feel like white people are racist because of politics. Now, there is racism, okay? Racism does exist, but this like systemic cultural, like we got to fight this monster that is racism. It doesn't exist in real life as big as some people would lead you to believe. It just doesn't. And find me the examples, and I'll march with you. I'll go to the foots.
Okay.
I'll go to the
So
steps of these companies, and I'll fight it with you. I swear to God.
I've experienced racism 3 times in my life, like deep racism. The first time I give a pass is from a police officer. Actually, I don't say being profiled, but I'll give a pass on like he's doing his job. I was 12 years old. I was asked to be patted down, and as 12-year-old, a cop should not ever ask to check your bags. I was walking home from school. I literally just got out of school. My school's 5 minutes away from my house, and I stopped by a corner store. Knows the owner of the store knows my family, knew my family, and I had black backpack. Walked outside, about to came out the store, heading home. Didn't steal anything. The cop stopped, just pulled up out of nowhere and stopped. And said, "Hey, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?" I was like, "Nothing." I was heading home. I'm happy, like 12 years old.
Yeah,
Heading home. Was I 12? I think I was 12. No,
somewhere
actually,
around there.
I was younger than 12. But I was like heading home. He's like, oh, "Okay," and he said, "What you got there?" I was like, "Nothing. Just heading home. I just came from the store and I'm just heading home." He's like, "Okay, cool. You mind if I check your bag real fast?" I didn't think anything of it because once again, racism was taught. I wasn't taught as a kid about okay, whatever. I was like, "Yeah, no problem." He checked my bag. Okay, thank you. Have a good one, man. And I was running about my business. I did go home to my parents, to my mom,
But they
my
were pissed.
grandparents. They were hella pissed. Now I didn't understand why at that time. I
Yeah.
do now. I didn't
Mhm.
understand why though. I'm like, and they was like, "Oh, did you?" They was like, "Did you get his number?"
Oh shit.
What happened? Oh,
Oh,
did you get his number? And this, I was like, or his badge number. I was like, I don't know. I mean,
you're like I'm
yeah,
10. I didn't get his badge number.
right, exactly. I'm like, I don't know that shit, but whatever. I
Yeah.
was like, and so I didn't think it's like they said, okay, that's fine. Um, I went on about my day. but it stuck in my head because they made such a big deal about it. They was pissed. They was like, they were really pissed off. I was like, okay. And then, but that memory stayed in my head until I got older and started seeing shit and understanding. I'm like, oh, okay. Now, the first time I actually was old enough and felt and understood racism was I was 15 years old. I remember this vividly. I was dating this girl. It was my cousin's friend, and she was um, she was 13, about to be 14, and hot. She's an Italian girl. I was like, oh damn, I really liked her, and we didn't even do anything. We barely even held hands, gave her a little kiss on the cheek. That was it. Her parents found out that I was dating her,
Mhm.
and they said, "Oh no, you can't date him. He's too old for you." So she came to me and said, "Hey, we gotta break it off." My parents, they say you're too old for me. That's fine. I was like, "All right, no problem." Didn't think anything of it. A week later, come and find out, she turned after no, because she was just about to turn 14. Come and find out, she ended up dating a 17-year-old. What's the
not
difference?
not
He was white.
and
Parents school with that.
what year were you born?
81.
81. Okay, so that means her parents were probably born in the 60s. So I'm sure there's kids that are born in the 80s and lived in the 90s. The parents and grandparents of those kids lived through a very different time.
Yes. Now, that
No,
hurt because
and yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying we got to keep putting things into context, right? Or even though it's wrong, and we agree on that, that it was a different time for those parents. Back then, it was weird to
yes,
see black and white people dating each other.
still not okay to do that. I cried.
I agree.
So I literally sat. I didn't understand it. I was like, my mom asked me, said, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Oh, nothing." And I was like, I was distraught, but she can see in my face something's wrong with you. What's wrong? She's asking me, and we end up. I had to go outside because we ended up sitting down and talking. And I had just got home from school, and she I'm fucking starting to get because it hurt. The pain was still there,
Yeah.
and so she said, "What's wrong?" I was like, me and so had to break up. She's like, "Why?" It's like the whole thing. I just found out that well, when we broke up, she said, "Yeah." I just found out that she's dating the 17-year-old because she's my cousin's friend. So my cousin's still friends with her. That she's dating the 17-year-old, and I don't understand why I had to break up with her because that guy's older than me, and the reason why they had to she had to break it off with me was because he was because I was too old for her.
Yeah.
And and my mom's like, and she all she did is hug me. She's like, some people just understand, and I start fucking crying because that was the first time. The only thing different, my head is like the only thing that's different is because your nationality. That's the only fucking thing. Like
Yeah.
he's older than you, and I'm like, and I cried, bro. I it hurt. It hurt. Like I was like, fuck. And that's why I'm like, well, that sucks. And me, I take a negative and take it turn it positive. I was like, I'm not gonna be racist to somebody. I would never let somebody's color or skin color or nationality make me judge them differently. I will love all the same. And because I say I know that pain and I know that hurt, and that hurt is not something you want to feel. It fucking sucks. It's a heartache that hurts, like it cuts deep. And to actually experience racism, and there's other times I have, but I'm like, I got tough skin. I brush it off. I learn from it, move on from it. But that's what I'm saying is like, yes, that was a different time, different age that their parents and their grandparents lived in. But at the same time, putting it out there and showing that this is not that time, acknowledging it. That's what the thing is that a lot of people a lot of people of color just want to be acknowledged that, hey, yes, we understand that happened. Hey, we're not going to allow that to happen again. And we're here with you. We're all one. Now, back to the whole corporations saying, oh, this and this, and trying to get their hands into it. And, oh, yeah, we'll it'll use this victimization as a tool to make sales. I agree. That's sickening. That's fucked up. Yes, 100%. They should a business should not. I mean, they can support. Say, hey, we support you guys. No problem. But they shouldn't use it as, oh yeah, we're gonna do a whole HR thing. You racist at work. You stupid. You should be fired. Plain and simple.
A lot
If
of
you ever,
employees have to do a like racial sensitivity training as a new hire. It's like holy shit. So
well, that's the whole thing. Racism's taught. If they're taught in their younger throughout their lives, and they understand that there's something wrong with that. Like,
yeah, so
well,
it
I
goes
call
back. It
my
goes back to
friend.
the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, he's. I call my friend a redneck. You can't say that, bro.
There's nothing wrong
I'm
with
talking
redneck.
me.
There's nothing wrong with redneck.
But see, in Cal, like I can't call my homeboy a redneck at work. Like, you fucking redneck. I can't say that because whoa, because somebody might take offense to that. You know, and it used to be used as a derogatory or a cracker or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like I get what you're saying about the whole corporation and all that, but to say that the and I know we're talking about, the whole topic is about woke and cancel culture, but this is how it kind of ties into it because they
It
use it.
all works together.
They use a lot of the race and all that stuff like that from shit that is out in the past to now. Different generations and things are changing, but at the same time, you have to understand, as long as that you're acknowledging it that has happened, you're trying to change it, acknowledge it, accept it, and try to make an active change in it. That's what most people want. That's what most also people of color want. It's not like, oh, I want you to bow and cower down to a black person or a Hispanic or a
They've
Asian
literally
person.
you've seen those videos, right? Where they're
What
like
videos?
the Black Lives Matter people going up to like this white couple at like a cafe outside. I think I'm almost positive it's in California, and they're saying, "Do Black Lives Matter?" And the people are like, "Just leave us alone." And they were being harassed
No, I
out in
saw those,
public.
and you shouldn't do that shit. And a lot of people, even a lot of black activists, like they shouldn't be doing that. Let those fucking people be alone. If that's the whole thing about a protest. A protest is like you are organizing something. You're not gorilla or pimping or manhandle or force somebody to walk with protest with you. Like, just leave me the fuck alone. I'm just trying to have dinner with my lunch with my family or my boyfriend. I mean, and why did you pick me out compared to
Because
the
they're
black guy
white,
over
they're
there?
racist.
So people are using the wrong fucking tools or the wrong thing at the wrong time. And like, no, you can't force somebody to do something. But I believe that everyone should be taught that everyone's equal and you're not going off of the color. So when people say, I don't see color, we all see color. If you're saying that I'm judging you off your color, that's different. I'm profiling you off your color or what you see. That's different. Saying this, like, it's like some people used to say, you see a guy with a turban. Oh shit, he's fucking, that's Taliban. Or you see a fucking a guy
That's
who's
still
wearing
a
some
little
saggy
scary
pants.
in an airport.
You stupid. um, and so you see a black guy wearing some jewelry and some saggy pants. Oh, he's either a rapper or he sells drugs. Or fucking or you see a white guy who actually has a truck. Oh, he's a white supremacist. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not cool. You see an Asian guy or Asian lady that's walking around and oh, they work at a fucking nail salon. Stereotypes, but you're profiling.
I mean,
So
stereotypes come from a nugget of truth most of the time, don't they?
some, but at the same
How many nail
time,
places you've been in and they're not Asian?
actually no. I
Come
got a
on,
friend.
man.
But I get what you're saying. Yes, yes, yes. Um, but as I'm just saying, it's like, we have to, we as a nation, we as people have to do better as a whole. Do you not agree?
Now, everybody can do better. Okay, I can do better. Everybody can do better when it comes to being a better person. The the idea that anybody's going to be perfect, like people got to give up on that. Okay,
I, I don't
like
expect people to be perfect.
I don't know. I'm just saying, just kind of give a full explanation here
Okay.
that people, if you really want white people, like, by the way, I'm so sick of this black and white shit. Like, I'm fucking, it's exhausting. Okay. Like, why can't we just all be Americans and just be fucking people? Okay. But if your big fear is that white people are, I'm not saying you, just the people who say this kind of stuff. If your fear is that they're inherently racist, you think you're gonna fix that by saying, "Hey, stop being racist." You know, like when you back people into a corner and you already prejudge them, which is racism,
Mhm,
based on their skin color, you are doing that. You're going to achieve the exact opposite of what you're trying to achieve.
mhm.
Like I said, back in the 80s and 90s, we never talked about race. Like this has sprung back up over the last decade, and 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 I know why, but I'm not going to get into all that again. It's politics and it's the media trying to sow division. Um, does racism exist? Of course. I'm going to say these things over and over because these things get lost in conversation. But this idea that we need to teach white people to quote be less white, or that you need to check your privilege, and all this stuff to demean white people and make us feel like we're doing something wrong just for the color of our skin, it's fucking racism. I'm never going to I'm never going to have a conversation with someone where I explain to them all the ways I've checked my privilege and the ways that I'm not racist. Anyone who thinks that's conversation is ever going to come out of my mouth is sorely mistaken. I don't have to prove shit to anybody. I'm a
You're
good person.
you're right. You're right.
I mean, I'm
I
not a,
agree.
not a great person, but I'm a pretty good person. Um, uh, Look, my next door neighbor is black, and I helped him with his lawnmower. I'm good. Okay.
Can I ask you one question?
Of course.
Do you think you have privilege?
I'm born in America. I have all kinds of privilege.
Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Um,
Do you? How about this? Do you think you have privilege over other Americans?
Sure. I mean, right now I didn't used to. I mean, when I was a kid, living in a fucking trailer park with holes in the floor, literally not know where our next meal was coming from. If I had privilege back then, I couldn't find it. Uh, I have privilege now because me and my wife have worked hard to build something. You know what? And
That, that
I'm gonna speak for all the little poor trailer trash white kids out there because I was one of them. And you tell them those kids they have privilege because they're white in these little in the by the way, what a piss poor message to tell little black kids that their white counterparts, and I'm not real counterparts, but their white peers are have it better than them because their skin is white. You talk about teaching racism, like you're teaching little black kids at a young age that they're already at some disadvantage and that white people are better than them, and that like they're already behind the eight ball. Now look, black people, look, with all the shit back in the with the redlining, I know this country has we've made a ton of mistakes and we're probably still making them. I
mhm.
get all that. And I'm more than willing to have that conversation for hours. And but the idea that kids coming out of the womb right now, little kindergartners, we're telling them that 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 the skin color matters, and that little white kids need to need to uh fuck, I completely lost my train of thought there. Like with all this CRT bullshit, and we're not going to get into it. Maybe next time. I'd really, I
Basically,
would.
what you're saying is like,
It's like guilty till
people
proven
are,
innocent.
yeah.
Like that whole thing again. I hate it. It's racist, Ryan. It's racist.
It's not. I'll tell you this. It's I'm not gonna tell you wrong because that's your belief. You feel you. I can tell that you passionately feel that. I will tell you this. Me. I'll speak for myself personally.
Okay.
I've been taught through TV all my life up until the last 10 years. No, up until the last 20 years, and that was that had start trickling in. But I was taught through TV shows, and movies, not through news. I didn't watch news. That I want to say this: white people. If I was white, this wouldn't happen to me. And that's the message I got as a kid, because I used to wish as a kid that I was white because bad shit wouldn't happen to me. And that was coming from of what I saw on television and movies, not because of my family or anyone else actually coming and saying, "Hey, if you were white, this wouldn't happen to you." That was from me just watching TV shows and seeing movies, that representation of all the good shit, people who live in a nice area and all that stuff like that. Granted, that's movies and films and shit like that. Yes, as a kid, those that has a lot of impression on you though, because that's what you're what you're viewing. That's what you're absorbing. So it's not necessarily always the home. It's what the media projects, and I'm not talking about news on this one. I'm talking about regular entertaining media, and that's from my personal shit that I took. That was message that I took. I was like, till I got older, I was like, no, this fucked up shit happens to everybody. I had to learn that.
Well, they need to stop telling little black kids that uh, uh, that they're basically there's a system out to keep them oppressed, and that no matter how hard they try, they're never going to be able to get where little white kids are getting. Like, what a horrible message to send to little kids in a country where there's so much opportunity. Now,
What system?
uh like like
The
like
justice system?
uh I'm talking about like when you have like these cities like Chicago, like is a good example, where
Mhm.
it's riddled with crime, and like Chicago's a fucking mess. And I don't have the answer. I mean, I could start somewhere. Get rid of Lori Longfoot is probably a good start, but they're raised in like these areas where there's ton of drugs, ton of crime, and the message to these little black kids is that this is basically the white man's fault. You know what I mean? And I think I think it's a disgusting message that you know what you need to do. You need to start. I think we need a big red tsunami in 2022, and then in 2024, let's get rid of all the Democrats. Let's just start clean. Let's get Republicans in every big city, and let's just start cleaning this shit up. Law and order. Okay, lower taxes. Let's start getting businesses back. Let's start getting businesses back in Chicago, back in Detroit, back in DC. Let's start building this so little black kids have jobs to
How
go
about we get
to.
rid of all politic wise of the whole red, blue? Let's just call it clear.
I think that's Larry Bird. I think someone called him. I think someone called him Clear once. Was
I
that
mean,
on
because
Space Jam? I think I don't know.
I mean, honestly, that's all the fucking politics shit. I mean, that's Bloods and Crips, but for rich people.
Look, I'll admit I'm way out. I'm way outside of my pay grade here, talking about the deep systemic issues and like deep into politics. I go on my gut feeling, which is obviously clearly I'm just one person, and I'm sure I fucked up a lot of stuff in this podcast because I'm a human. I'm a human being. But you know what? In my heart, I'll tell you what I know is right. You don't fight racism with racism. You do the best you can. Each individual needs to do the best they can to try to be a good person, and stop letting these corporations tell people that they're racist for being any skin color. And look, right, and the reason I'm saying it's happening to white people right now, because like I said at the beginning, find me another article where a company was telling any other race to be anything but themselves. It doesn't exist. It's an attack on white people right now, and we can have. I'm not going to rehash the whole Jim
Yeah.
Crow. We know evils happened all over the world in the past. You don't fight evil with evil. You just don't do it. That's just a golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. I mean,
Okay.
I
I agree. The golden rule, 100%. I agree with that one. And fighting racism, I agree with that one too. Bad a negative and a negative doesn't make a positive. I mean, in some scientific worlds, you can with the whole fucking algebra shit. But I'm talking about seriously. Two rights don't make a wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. And I know we're past the hour time. Is this? I want to say something. This. So
you're getting the last word, so make it good.
On this one, I'm going to speak for all people of color. It's not that we want more. We just want the same thing and the same respect that every American gets. And what I mean by that is this: there is trauma from the community of people of color. I'm not saying black, I'm not saying, I'm just saying people of color, there's trauma there. Just like trauma as somebody who's been raped, a victim, somebody who's been beat, child abuse, something like that. If you go to somebody who has domestic violence and you raise your hand fast enough, if you don't even intend on hitting them, like you like that, they're going to fucking flinch. There's trauma there. They're scarred. They're going to flinch because they are used to that. The same shit is happening, and I'm not saying about all people, white people. I love white people. I know that you are not racist, Adam. I know a lot of people who are the Caucasian descent is not racist, that are Americans. I get that. This is truly a when people say certain things, it's if the shoe fits, wear it, and it doesn't apply to everybody. But everyone needs to look in the fucking mirror and truly say, can I honestly say that I do my best to be a good person to everyone I come into contact with to the best of my abilities? And if you can, great. If you can't, look deep and see how you can change that.
I'm assuming you're speaking to every person of every nationality right now.
Yes, every person, every nationality. No people of color, no just white people, every person, every nationality on that one.
Well, racial crimes are at such an all-time high that Jussie Smollett has to make them up. So we'll end it there. So I
Stop
saw
shitting on the cake.
I had to get one last little thing in. All right,
Just have a little
Ryan,
pill.
look, we can all agree we all need to be nicer to each other. I wish that we weren't being as Americans, we weren't being used and abused and pimped out for racial divide and tension. If you're an evil person, don't be a piece of shit. Um, sounds good to me.
No, hey,
No.
no, I'm gonna go with that. So, good podcast. I actually like this one. This is good. Because it gives a perspective of two sides. And yeah, I mean, I know that if I'm feeling this, people are thinking this too. If you're thinking that, some people are thinking that. So I love this, Adam. I so appreciate you asking to create this podcast
Me
because
too.
it's not only just a place where we can talk about all kinds of discussions. It's a place where we can be ourselves, be men, and yeah.
Love it. All right, Ryan. Guys, actually, where's our little thing at the bottom? We forgot to add that.
Oh, we
Little...
sure the fuck did. Damn it. We
Oh,
was
we don't
so
even have our
into it.
names on there, do we? Or there you
Wow.
go. There it is. Boom. Like and subscribe. Guys, if you enjoyed this conversation, I'm sure a lot more of these types of just real conversations from real people with two different backgrounds, two different perspectives. This is the kind of stuff we're gonna get things right. We're gonna get things wrong, but we're gonna tell you this. I know Ryan and I know myself. We may be wrong, but we're not going to lie to you. We may be wrong about it, but we're not trying to mislead anybody. We're just trying to have real conversations. And we encourage everyone to subscribe to the channel, love each other, go drink a glass of goddamn water and get off Twitter. That's a good start.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Later.
Bye.